Hey everybody, are you here? I'm barely here, just barely here. That's it. I can't promise anything more than that. All right, let's see if it pulls up over here, get everything working right. Not yet, not yet, not yet. I know, should I twiddle my thumbs? Yeah, I guess you can twiddle thumbs, not fingers so well. Oh, come on, you're not supposed to make those sounds. Okay, I should be all right. If you're here, will you let me know so that I know that everything's working? I dropped my microphone a minute ago. I hope it still works. Can you hear me? Because I'm a little, not too long ago, I was recharging. You know, you have the door cams, right? Well, mine was a rechargeable one. So about every 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, I'd have to plug it in and charge the battery. Well, I didn't drop it. I put it back on the mount and then somebody shut the door hard. It went right off, just like that. Fell right on the concrete and it did not work anymore. So I had to buy a new one. I bought a new one. We can't get it to work. My husband has installed it like 3 times now. It doesn't work. And it's a wired one instead of, so we didn't want to have to recharge it all the time. So it's wired and doesn't work. I think it worked the first day for a few minutes. And I don't know. Maybe I'm not supposed to have a door cam. All right, am I freezing? Because I feel like I'm a little frozen here. Maybe I'm just not pulling it up over here. So please let me know that you're here. Because we're going to talk about fun stuff today. I want to share some things that I love about the Applaud. And maybe it's just the weather. We are 95 today. And I know that's not as hot as a lot of you, but 95, good grief. I know, I'm going to be seeing a whole different story when it's 30 below, I know. I'm not sure this is all coming through today. Your comments, I can see there's people there, but your comments are not coming through. So just say boo. Remember? Just boo. Hi, tell me what your weather is. Tell me where you're from. Anything. Hi can be anything at all. I'm going to wait for just a second because it's not working on this end. Now, see, I'm not frozen on my end. And yet I can't see your comments. Please, somebody there? Am I alone? I might be. I might have to go eat a ding dong. I might. So what is your go-to snack or treat when you just think this is the best thing ever? I mean, I love double dipped, I almost said that wrong, double dipped chocolate peanuts. Those are probably my all-time favorite. And closely related to that are Reese's peanut butter cups because they are peanuts dipped in chocolate, right? And closely related to that, actually M&M's sometimes. They're not as good as those double dipped chocolate peanuts. I could eat those all day long. And I don't buy them because I would eat them all day long. But I have another favorite, and I do buy these more often than I should. Do you like the ding dong? I love the ding dong. I like chocolate cake. I like chocolate. What can I say? But the ding dong is good. Very good. I like them. All right, it is not coming through still. So I'm not going to be able to get your questions unless something changes here. Because I know that there are several people that asked me to come on and talk about the Applaud today, and I'm so happy to do that. But without your questions, I'm not really sure what you want me to talk about. So I do have some prior questions that people have asked me, and I'll go into those. But if you want to know something more, then you need to say so. Let me make sure that, yep, I've got all the right buttons pushed. I'm not sure quite what's going on. So if you are watching later, or if you're watching now, and please type in your comments. That way I kind of know what's going on. And right now I'm getting nothing. I'm not quite sure why. That's never happened before because I can see you're here. I just can't get your comments, and I want your comments. Let's see. I did have something I wanted to share with you today. Let me pull it up. I thought this was kind of funny. Okay, talking about candy, because I like the ding dongs, I like the chocolate covered peanuts, but in World War II times, so this was like in the 40s, they made Smarties candies. They originally made with the same machines that was made to make gunpowder pellets for ammunition. That's where they started making them. Now, I like Smarties. They kind of have a little sour to them, but they're mostly sweet. I like Smarties. But that's when they were made. Is that cool or not? I think it's pretty cool. All right. Now, last week, I think we talked about doing your 5-25 rule. Was that what it was? Yeah, it was. Where you have 25 things that you really want to do. You pick out 5 of them. You narrow it down to 5 things. And then you narrow it down to 1. And you say, I can do this one thing. I can do this one today. And you're going to work on it, because it's just like Facebook. If you start talking about it, it's just going to come. All of a sudden, you're getting all those advertisements on what you want to do. So it gives you more opportunity. It's no different than when you drive down the road. In fact, I've heard people say this, how start seeing motorcycles, because they're just one little guy driving down the road, right? And you don't really see it. So if you teach your kids young to watch out, let's see how many motorcyclists we can count today. Or pedestrians, let's count the pedestrians. When they start looking for them, then they're going to see them. So when you start looking for opportunities, you will find them. When you start looking for things that relate to what you want to do, you'll find it. That's what I think. All right, there was another thing I wanted to share with you that was really kind of cool. And this was about Thomas Edison when he was a little boy and he was in school. And I guess he had a little bit of a hard time. I mean, he was really smart. But the teacher wrote a note and said, give this to your mom and only your mom. And you can't read it, just give it to your mom. So he took it home and gave it to his mom. And his mom opened it and she said, it says, your son is a genius. This is what she said, the note said. Your son is a genius. This school is too small for him and we don't have enough good teachers to help him. Please teach him at home. Well, that just gave Thomas Edison this big boost of whatever. He was so excited to think that, yeah, I am so smart. And so, of course, you know what he went on to do, all the great inventions that he did. But years later, after his mother had passed away, he found that note. And you want to know what it said? Maybe you've already heard this. He cried when he opened it. The note said from the teacher that his mother read differently. It said, your son is mentally slow and we can't help him. Please don't let him come to school anymore. Your son is mentally slow. Wow. And that's not what he thought. So this just shows you how powerful a mother's love can be and a mother's encouragement can be to her kids. And I firmly believe that. I just tell my kids, you go for it. Whatever you want to do, and I will support you. And I never miss anything they go to. I love it. I love to go watch them even when they work. If I can sneak a peek, I love it. But we have the power in children's lives, and I think that is really cool. Really cool. All right. Seems Facebook is not cooperating with me today. It's still not cooperating. I still can see no comments anywhere, and I'm really sad about that because I know they're probably there. So what I'll do later on when I log out, I will come back in, I'll read your comments, and I'll answer them then. But thank you for joining me today because I know, you've got other things to do, and it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. That's like middle of the afternoon to me. I mean, it's like noon. And I'll tell you, let me tell you, I have been struggling. Do you ever have sewing struggles? I've had a struggle this week, and you're going to laugh at this one because you know I love zippers, right? I will put a zipper in anything, anywhere, anyway. I love zippers. Well, I had trouble with the zipper. I could not get the 2 sides to match, and I unpicked it twice, and I thought there's got to be another way. So I did figure it out, but I tell you, it kind of kicked my bottom. That zipper did. So if you're ever having trouble sewing or trying to figure something out, know that you're not alone. It happens to the best of us. All right, I am going to go right over to my machine right here. And this is the Applaud. And this is the one that I have loved so much. And I have all my samples already packed away because I'm going to Baby Lock Tech next week. So I don't have my samples out here. But if you noticed actually, I have one right over here I can show you. This is the one I was working on when I posted yesterday. I posted some pictures. Well, look at that. This is the stitch that the Applaud will do. It is a decorative top cover stitch. And I love it. I totally love it. I've had so much fun with it, making things and doing things. But here are a few questions. All right, so let me get into it. And if I don't get any more questions, I can cover them later. If you have more questions, please put them in there because there's always more buddy chats. First of all, what I want to do is I want to rethread the wipers. But I'm going to tell you first, see, I've got this all thread up. I've got 3 needles, so it's a triple cover stitch. I've got 1 in my looper and I've got 2 in my wipers. And that's a new word that we have to learn how to say is wipers, because the wipers are down here. Someone asked me where they could get this specialty foot. Well, this foot is patented by Baby Lock, and you can't get it. It comes with this machine and only with this machine. You can't use it on any other machine. This one comes with this foot. It also comes with a cover stitch foot. So it comes with 2 feet, and most of the time sergers come with 1. But this one comes with 2, and I love that. I just love this machine. It's really, you just start thinking about, well, I can do this, I can do that, and you start doing it, and you think, wow, I love this. All right, there was a question. Right there I have my needles are all threaded up. What if I take a needle out or put a needle in? Do I have to unthread my wipers to rethread the needles? Because here is where the needles are threaded. They come up right through here, like always, like your serger. They go over here, they go under, right under here. They come under here and up and around. So you've got to go under your wipers to get to them. In fact, should we unthread one so you can see how easy and fun that is? And I want to say another thing. I was working on this yesterday, just having such a fun time. And one of my threads in my needles kept breaking. I thought, okay, what's going on? Well, TNT. The first thing you think about is your thread. Is it threaded properly? Am I using good thread? So that's the first thing. That's the T, TNT. That's the thread. The second thing you look at is your needle. Is there something wrong with the needle? So it broke about 3 times before I thought, okay, now what am I going to do? My thread's good. This is a thread I use all the time. It's not an old piece of thread. It's pretty good thread. So I thought, it's got to be my needle. So I pulled that needle out and it was bent. So that's why it was not threading properly. Or excuse me, that's why it was breaking all the time. Okay, so I have my thread right here. I'm going to, with my wipers still threaded right there, I'm going to put that through the correct channels. I'm going to go behind my wipers right here because I want to go right underneath. Let me do that again. If I can pull that same thread back out. I don't want to pull the wrong one. So it's going to go the same channel it always goes on. It's going to go in the guide right here. And then if those wipers were not there, I would just take it right through there, up and over. But now the wipers are in my way a little bit. It's not going to stop me from threading it. I'm going to put it up and over just like that. I'll put it in the guide right above. Now in order to have it in the right proper place to thread, I've got to make sure that I'm in threading position down there. I got to get that thread right out of that needle. And now right here is my C1, C2, and C3, which makes it so easy to thread. Now let me show you what happens. If I have the needles in the wrong position, saying I'm thinking, oh, I've got it okay. I'm not going to worry about popping my pipes in place. And I'm going to just try to thread it. You see? That's not going to go down. So you have to have your pipes locked in place. That puts those needles in the perfect position. I'm going to put it down there. And now it goes in the thread guide above. And then it might be a little difficult with those wiper threads right there, but I think you can do it. And then I pulled it through. Now that's ready to go. Now one thing you need to remember is when you're working with cover or chain, the first stitch has to be in fabric in order to form that chain. So I'm going to put up in serging position, and I'm going to just step on the gas. I want to make sure the first stitch goes right into fabric. Now I have my wipers engaged. I'm going to disengage them for a minute, and I'm just going to look at my stitch. Now because my wiper threads are there, they're going to want to pull through, and that's okay. So there, that is a beautiful stitch. It looks like everything turned out great. And I know that's hard for you to see, but I'm in the wrong camera. Oh, by the way, I got a new camera. I was so excited to use it today. It does not talk to my system well. So that's kind of why I was a little bit late, because I was trying to set it up and it did not talk. And when it was talking, it wasn't talking nicely. So I've got to figure out something else. And it's a great camera because I can get focused right down here, right where you want to see. And now I'm back to my square one. So there is my beautiful stitch. Now did you notice that I disengaged my wipers right here? If I don't want those little wipers to move back and forth, I put it down there, but if I want them to move, I put it up there. And now I'm not going to rethread anything. I'm simply going to put it under there and stitch away. So now my wipers are engaged. And look how beautiful that is. You can't really even see it, can you? Can I bring it up here? No, it's too dark. Too dark up here. All right, I'm going to focus you down a little closer and see if we can... Now I'm going to wiggle it just a little bit. I want you to see those wipers working. Let me see if I can get you in a little closer. That is going to bring you a little closer. Let me bring the machine. So I want to tip you, and then I want to raise you because I want you to see a bird's eye view of those wipers. Let's see if that'll do it. I'm sorry if I'm making you sick right there. Because see, there's two wipers right there, and they're going to move back and forth in front of the needle. And as they move in front of the needle, they're laying down that beautiful decorative thread that I can put in my wipers. Now let's look at this again. Now I'm just going to go slow because I want you to see those wipers go back and forth. Do you see them wiping back and forth? Because that's really what they do. They're wiping. That's why they're called wipers. So I'm going to pull one of my wipers out and I'm going to thread it for you. Okay, so let's back you back out again. All right, so I'm going to go clear out to here because I want you to see where those threads are coming from. Let me pull. I'm going to pull the yellow one that's on the right, and I'm going to pull the right one because the right one is, for me, I have to use tweezers to thread it. So what I want to do is I want to clean out those wipers, get that yellow thread all gone. So now you can see that I ended my yellow thread and I just have my green one in there. All right, so now I'm going to start right at the top. So I've got it in the back there where you always have your threads. I'm not going to be able to show you that part, but I'm going to, let me pull you up a little bit. Cooperate with me, please. There you go. Okay, right there, it's going to go right through there. It's going to click. Now it's going to click, but it doesn't mean that it's inattention. It is simply a guide for the thread. It just keeps it from wobbling all over because I'm normally going to be using some really crazy threads right up in there. Oftentimes I'll be using the thread net on my wiper threads. It's going to go through there, and my left one is right there, but I'm just going to do my right one. I clicked it in there, take it down through this thread guide, up and around, and then this little channel right here looks like a chute to me. That's where it's going to go. And I like to have my foot up. I actually have to put my needles in the right position because I've got to make sure that my wipers are open all the way. So I'm going to move my needle up and down. And now they're open all the way, because when they're all the way open, that is the point that you can thread it. So now I'm going to raise my foot. It's easier for me if I can get that foot up a little higher. I'm going to put it through the nose of the machine, of the foot. There's a little nose down there. And I'm going to put it through there. And now I'm going to put it down here through my wiper. When I put it in my wiper, you see it kind of goes inside. That's why I have to have my tweezers. And I'll just come in here and pull that thread out. Now it's ready to go. Now the next thing I want to do is that I want to start the process with it. If I leave it back here, it may or may not catch. So I want to have it kind of coming out at an angle to the side. And I'm not pulling on it, but I'm putting a little bit of tension on it so that it engages. And when it's taken a few stitches, I can cut that off. Because I don't want to have threads hanging out here that they can catch on these wipers. And there I go. So there is a beautiful stitch. All right, I'm going to come back over here and we're going to talk about these right here, because now you can see how pretty they are. This one right here is where I cut my wiper out, and you can see where it just finished off right there. So that's what we're going to talk about. We talked about how to thread the wipers. We talked about threading the needles without disengaging the wipers, without pulling all the threads out, because maybe you don't want to pull the threads out. Maybe you want to go from a 3-thread down to a 2-thread, or from a 2-thread up to a 3-thread, or a 3-needle, a triple cover stitch. Maybe that's where you want to go. And when you do that, it is so easy. I do want you to get in there, experience it, practice with it. The more experience you get, the more you're going to love it. And the more things you can think of to do with it, you are going to love it. All right. That be said, if you have any questions, and I tell you, I can't bring your comments up. I don't know what's wrong today. Maybe we're not even filming. I don't know. I think I am, because I can see me over here. If you have comments, questions, anything that you want to know, I can revisit this again with your questions. Definitely I can. And I would love to, because I love to talk about the Applaud. What's not to love about the Applaud? If you've got one, you understand, right? All right, I guess I'm going to end for today, and I'm going to kind of watch the comments and we'll see where we go from there. All right? All right. I want to go have a ding dong or a donut or something. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to watch your comments. If you watch later, please comment. Please say something so that I know that I was not here by myself. I can see a lot of you, even right now, are watching. I just can't pull up comments. I don't know why. I guess I'll find out. I'll look into it. Okay. Goodbye, everybody.